All right, folks. Thank you so much. Let me go high-tech small. You know, I'm always on my, what do you call that, iPad, and I do a few Twitter here and there and things. So if you send me in, until I met this guy, man, this guy is a king. He does, or Twitter, the whole world is shaking, and he's been named as one of the top 5 Twitters on social media. Put your hands together. Let's welcome Ato Ulzen. There you go. There you go. There. All right.
I've been watching the show for a while. So
okay, you got it. Now you remember. Yes, okay, folks, he's in the house. Stick around. We're going to have some really engaging conversation. We'll be right back.
Don't move, don't blink, don't breathe. The KSM Show will be right back.
Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you so much, KSM. I've been watching this show since it started. For me, I was in the US for a long time. I've seen shows like this.
Yeah.
So when TGIF with KSM started, I was really excited about this. Obviously, you know, you went to Presec for a bit, so obviously I'm obviously excited about you. I think, you know, we should really celebrate you in Ghana for all the work that you do, aside comedy, everything. I told you about when we set you up on one of our role models for the Ghana Conscious thing. So I'm really excited to be here today.
Show him some love, man. Show him some love. It's good to have you here, man.
Thank you so much.
And I want to start off with you went to Rwanda.
Yes, I went to Rwanda. So I am a global shaper of the Accra hub here in Ghana. And as part of the World Economic Forum events, a number of global shapers are always selected to attend this event. So last year, I actually attended the Davos event in Switzerland.
Okay, yeah.
One of 50 shapers out of about 4,000 around the world.
Wow. Who selects?
So the World Economic Forum selects.
Okay.
So global shapers around the world apply. You normally have to send a video to them talking about how you are changing or improving the state of the world. So normally you talk about the things that you are doing to improve your own community, your country, globally, etc., and then they select. So when I heard last year that, you know, the World Economic Forum on Africa was going to be in Rwanda, I was so excited, and I was like, I have to go.
You have to go, yeah.
So I applied, God being so good, I got in, and I was one of 50 African shapers to go.
And is Rwanda everything we've heard? This one I've heard, I've heard that Rwanda is like almost like a first world country. It's clean. I mean, everybody's talking about Rwanda like that's the place to see in Africa.
Yeah, I mean, I think some, like, let's not use first world. Like, some developed countries have developed country problems. Rwanda doesn't exactly have developed country problems, but some of the great things that they have, for instance, is, for me, there are few keywords: cleanliness, discipline, accountability, and consensus. The discipline is ridiculous. I mean, to the extent that in Kigali, the capital city, they tried to install dustbins around the city, and they stopped. Why? Because people just weren't littering. Okay,
wow.
It's not like
hold on.
It's not like, you know, you see.
They actually stopped.
They stopped littering. It's not like you see litter on the ground and you pick it up, so you're cleaning up the place. They don't litter.
So you don't need a dustbin.
So you don't even need the dustbin.
Oh my God.
And this is the culture. Like, if you litter, they look at you funny. And this is in Africa. It's mind-boggling case.
Wow.
This is, oh goodness. And this is, you know, within the last 20 years after genocide, right? So that's another thing that we also have to look at.
Yeah, because they went through that.
So they went through genocide.
Serious Hutu fight, yes.
Over 800,000 people died. You know, they had to deal with that. They had to deal with the people who killed the other people who were in the same country. They had to deal with the reconciliation. They had to deal with how do we rebuild our infrastructure.
Wow.
You know, it's crazy. One thing I really love is, we had a meeting with, they have a Rwanda Development Board, okay, led by this gentleman called Francis Gatari. So some of the global shapers who had gone, we had a meeting with him. And he came to the meeting with 2 people, okay? One lady and one guy. Both of these people are definitely not above 30 years old. And literally, the lady is the chief of, she's like the minister of tourism. And she's not 30, okay? And then the other guy is the chief operating officer of the Rwandan Development Board. Why are they there? They are there because they are competent, not just because they can't find older people to take these positions, right? You look at Kagame's office, all the people he's working with are like 23, 24, 22. It's
Wow. And we're talking
they
about
run
competent,
Rwanda like a company.
competent 23.
Rwanda is like a company. It's like we had dinner with a friend on Saturday at a boutique hotel, and this guy said Rwanda is like a family, so there's no room for politics. There's no need for politics. Like they run it like a company.
Wow.
Ministers have performance contracts. If you don't follow your performance contract, you get fired.
Wow.
They don't give ministerial positions to politicians. They give it to technocrats, people who actually know agriculture. It's, goodness, please, let's talk about that.
Miracle. Wow.
Let's talk
That's
about that.
I guess everything I've heard is true then, because
It
I've
is-
heard
it is.
such they're so.
And the helmet thing is ridiculous. So for me, I've been to Tamale 4 times, and obviously Tamale is different because a lot of people ride motorbikes. They ride motorbikes in Kigali as well, but everyone wears a helmet. Even the ladies with their Brazilian hair, they wear
With
helmets.
the helmet.
You know.
So the law works.
The law works. Yeah.
Wow. All right, let's come to Ghana. Ghana, a beautiful Ghana.
Yes.
But you've been really working a lot with mentoring
Yeah.
and trying to. How is that going?
It's going well. So, I mean, the goal of my foundation, the GhanaThink Foundation, is to mobilize and organize talent for Ghana, right? So I believe is that there are a lot of young Ghanaians who are doing great things, either in the business that they do, who they do business for, where they work, etc. So our idea is to bring them all together, to learn from each other, share with each other, so that we can build a critical mass of people who are patriotic, passionate, positive, proactive, progressive, and productive. This is 6
There's all peace.
It's all peace.
6 piece.
6 P's. So that's our vision, right? That if we could have like maybe 2.33 million young Ghanaians like this, would be a much better country. So a lot of the way we do this is through networking events. That has a huge amount of mentoring. Because the idea is that, a lot of the times, people, make a lot of excuses for things that they can't do because they don't have information on how to do it. Right? So let's say if, like I'm wearing horseman shoes, right, from Tony Senaya. So if someone is trying to tell me that, they're trying to start this company and they are making like this type of product, okay, and they say they can't find money to do it, we always complain about funds. I can say, go and look at what Tony has done, learn about how Tony was able to get money to start it, and stop making excuses, right? So if we can prove to people that there are so many young, successful people, and these are their stories, it's not that we know that they are successful and they ride big cars, but we know how they got successful, it reduces the excuses that we have to be successful. So that's basically our model. So we run these, we call them bar camps. So we run these bar camps all around the country. We've done them in every single region. We've done 56 of them in 8 years and impacted over 8,000 people.
So when you organize the bar camps, you sort of pick people that have the potential.
Yes. So for instance, like if we did a bar camp in WA, we would normally pick young, successful people who can be resource personnel who are based in the region, right? Because it also proves to the people there that, they are successful people here, right? We don't bring people from Accra and Kumasi and Tamale, and then they feel like, okay, so yeah, I have to move to Accra. It's like, no, there's that guy running spicy foodies in WA and is successful. And you can see that, they know what they are doing. So we tend to bring a lot of the local wisdom together. And because the bar camps are heavy on interaction, you don't go there to listen to maybe 5 people speak and take notes and go home, right? You get to share what you're about, so that if what you're interested in is, bead making, then someone can give you particular information about bead making, right? So we say that the bar camps is for learning, sharing, networking, and mentoring, and especially a lot of peer mentoring.
Wow.
So that's
Wow.
what we've been doing.
Wow. Show some love, man. And it's so what on the reality on the ground, how many years, what in your estimation will it take to really get that critical mass? And can we ever?
That's a very good question. I think it will take a shorter period of time if we start to have a sense of responsibility towards it. I think in Ghana, we have a sense of entitlement, right? People go to school, they finish university, they're like, there should be a job for me, right?
Yeah.
But what we are seeing a lot, especially with dealing with many startups and small businesses who are trying to hire, a lot of university graduates, they are unemployable. They don't have skills to actually work, right? They've just been taught to chew, pour, pass, forget. If they get to your workplace and you give them some kind of task that they've not seen before, they are confused. They're not proactive. So, like, we all have to take it as a sense of responsibility to help people become these 6 Ps. And I think the more we commit to doing it, the more that we understand that to really, move the needle in our development, I think we'll move faster. Obviously, great leadership will help, like we've seen in Rwanda, but I think the citizens have to buy into it. Like, I mean, even in Rwanda, people buy into the vision, right? So, I mean, people talked about how Kagame was going to run for like another term, and everyone is complaining in the West. It's democracy.
Yeah.
Screw democracy. People in Rwanda buy into the vision, right? They are like, this is what
they had
we
no
want.
problem with it.
They had no problem with it. Even to the extent that some of the reasons why people love Kagame so much is the whole reconciliation bit of it. Because when the genocide happened, the Hutus had been killing the Tutsis, right? So now, Kagame was in power and he was a Tutsi. The whole government pretty much was a Tutsi government. The rebels were Tutsi rebels, right? They could have gone and revenged but Kagame, put his foot down. The people who tried to revenge, he put them in prison. So even Hutus felt safe under him, right? People don't want to see someone else come after Kagame and come and spoil everything.
all those gains,
All of those gains, So, hey, like I said, they run it like a company. If you have a CEO who's really good, you keep him. So, So, I mean, I think, obviously the leadership will be great. I think, we need...
You're talking about consensus.
Yeah.
Which comes first? Is it the leadership that generates the consensus, or how is that interplay? Leadership, consensus?
I think leadership, great leadership is probably really important for consensus because you need people to buy into the vision. You need someone who can listen. Kagame doesn't operate from what I've heard, because I had many conversations with Rwandans. I wanted to almost like, whatever negatives there were, I wanted to find.
Yeah.
So, so like Kagame operates from the opinion of like, I don't know everything. So, he listens a lot. If there's a really great idea and he sees there's a great idea, they implement it, right? I mean, the government supports so many private things so much, to the extent that you even have like American universities coming to set up shop there.
Wow.
I mean, it takes less than 24 hours to register a business.
Less than 24 hours?
Less than 24 hours. You can even do it in 6.
Wow.
And they've just embraced technology. It was visa on arrival. You just get there. Oh, my goodness. Well, we have visa on arrival now. When I got to Ghana, I realized that you had visa on arrival. So that's great. But I think leadership is probably like the most important.
One thing I noticed, and quickly now, because I went to South Africa. When I was in South Africa, I used to listen to some talk show in the morning. And they'll bring a resource person. And the person would talk. And then open the phone lines. And consistently, at least 80 to 85% of the callers had a question.
Okay.
Yes. They all had a question to ask the resource person.
Yeah.
Consistently. Reverse is in Ghana. And when you have a resource person and you open the phone lines, everybody has their opinion.
Yes.
Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. I'm not saying anything, but
I think it's part of, we are quite educated in Ghana, right? One of the huge issues that Rwanda has is they don't have a lot of skilled people or educated people. And a lot of business people complain that they don't have a huge market for what they are doing. In Ghana, we have a lot of people, educated people. You go to Nigeria, teachers, they are Ghanaian. You go to Botswana, lecturers, they are Ghanaian. But I think our education, the way we do it is wrong, right? I mean, you have lecturers these days, they have to mark scripts of 1,000 students.
Yeah.
Like, how can they really teach these 1,000 students, right? It's almost like, oh, everyone should get educated. So let's open up the schools, everyone go to school, and it's bad education.
Yeah.
So I think we really have to check that. So obviously, if you've gone to school, you have an opinion. But it might not be a really great opinion.
And that's the frightening part, because I'm sorry to say that you listen and like, out of maybe 28 callers, you get 2 people who are fairly decent. The rest is like, what do you even call?
It's Kabima Minkebi. It's democracy. It's democracy. This is what we celebrate.
Well, yeah, I guess that's the strength of democracy, you know. But I was hoping it would be Kanya, sometimes coming somewhere or
Exactly.
something. But a little bit about you personally. You went to Presec?
So I went to Presec. When I was there, I heard about this school called MIT. I heard it was the best engineering school in the world, so I wanted to go there. God being so good, I went to MIT. I did civil engineering, but I got interested in lots of internet-related things. So when I went to Stanford for my master's, I did construction management because I wanted to have skills that could help me.
MIT to Stanford.
Yeah.
You're heavyweight, though.
I wanted to have skills.
Oh, Daddy, you're heavyweight.
Yeah. I wanted to have skills that could help me do everything.
Yeah.
But because I was so interested in the internet, I ended up working for Google. So I actually moved to Ghana to work with Google. And then eventually I left Google to do my own thing. And I'm currently doing my own thing. I'm mostly working in the youth empowerment and technology spaces.
Fantastic.
So, you know, I use Twitter all the time. I've been tweeting about Rwanda like the whole week. I feel like Rwanda even trended like last week because I was just tweeting this too much. So, yeah, so I do a lot of social, because I believe that there's a lot of great information on the internet.
Yeah.
You know, so for Global Shepherds, we're running a campaign called Internet for All, whereby we want fast, affordable, accessible internet, right? Sometimes we fear that if young people get internet, they'll use it for bad things. Yeah. But there's so many positive things about the internet, you know, and if it's there, I mean, fine, let them use the internet. Eventually, we'll find a way to make it work. I see a lot of Ghanaians who, they are so excellent, it's almost like they went to MIT, but they went to tech, but just because they're so exposed to the internet, they are like, they went to MIT. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And so we really have to...
can access the same information.
Can access the same information. You know, I mean, there's a Ghanaian, Fred Swanika, who's building a school in Mauritius, and the idea is to bring online education to Africans, whereby you come to this school and you're only studying the best material from everywhere. So if you're going to take economics, you take the online Harvard economics class. You're going to take computer engineering, you take the online MIT computer engineering class, and then you get a degree from this university, right? Like, we really have to leverage the power of the internet and stop fearing it. Let's trust things that we are building. You know, I mean, people are building so many great apps in Ghana that could solve problems. Like, you can pay your ECG bill with your app, but people don't trust it. They feel like Ghanaian things are bad. You know, so that's something that we have to really break out of, and you know, we just have to be a little bit more positive. But we have to show them positivity. No, I hear you, man, 100%. You know, because the same internet you can hear, but it's such a tool for equipping yourself with so much knowledge. You know, as old as I am, just last week I wanted to do. I was coming up with some script concepts, so I went to YouTube just to listen to lectures. On how to develop characters all over again. I was like, people like you have to do that.
I did it. I was listening. How do you develop good characters? I was on YouTube. You know, but so that's it's there.
It's best practices, right? I think, you know, there's so much bad information that spreads in Ghana. You know, people come to look for jobs, you look at their CVs, and it's like, really? Like, where did you learn how to do this CV? Oh, from my friend who's sharing bad information, right? So, like, good information must spread. You know, and good information will spread if we know best practices. And we actually have conversations amongst ourselves, right? Instead of like university students always talking about Beyonce and Manchester United, if you just talk about the things that matter to you and are interesting to you, you learn a lot of things, because there might be a student in the next room who knows so much that you don't. But if you don't talk to them about it, how would you know? Right? So we really have to, you know, do a lot of peer mentoring. There's a lot of great information around us. There's a lot of great people around us, and we have to leverage that.
Put it all together, man. Thank you to Ato Ulzen, and it's so good to have you here. And
I'm excited to. Can't wait to come again.
You'll be back again. We'll be back again. All right, man.
Okay.
Let's give it up. Yeah. All right. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back.